performance. Many
Barry pulled off an amazing win last night to put themselves into the first round proper of the UEFA Cup. The draw's on Friday, and they're looking now at a game against the likes of Newcastle United. And anything could happen after they beat a top Hungarian side last night against all the odds. And the odds were stacked against Barry. 3-1 down after the first leg. They started clawing their way back just before half-time with a penalty from 34-year-old ex-league player Chris Pike.
Well, I just tried to keep it low and get on target, and luckily it went in. I've taken a lot over the years, so quite used to it.
And soon after the break, it looked as if they were there when the League of Wales champions got the second.
The ball's come across, and I think Tony's gone in and missed it, and Darren's gone in and missed it, and it's come across. Seen him come off his line, I thought, think far post. Luckily enough, it went in. My first game back since the cup final, been out injured, and to get a goal in Europe, brilliant.
But the shooters were determined to spoil the party. They pulled one back through Gabor Egresi. Then, 12 minutes from time, Barry scored again to make it 3-1, all square again.
The ball's come out from over the top. Chris Pike flicked it on, and I just gambled on the run and shot it past the goalkeeper. Effort, commitment, and passion. That's the biggest thing this club has got.
No goals in extra time. It all came down to a nail-chewing penalty shootout. But the shooters were off target, and Barry's rookie goalkeeper, Pat Mountain, was as big as his name. It was Barry's game and Barry's night. And behind the celebrations, the club say they've already made enough money from the competition to keep the treasurers smiling for a year.
I don't think I'm outvoted by saying that today's result has made a tremendous difference to the club, and it certainly made my job a lot easier.
A big name game next, and Barry could make up to £500,000 more. All thoughts are now on Friday's draw.
It'd be nice to get Newcastle, obviously.
I think there's a lad Shearer place for Newcastle. That would be nice.
It is a privilege to play against any professional club, but the bigger the better.
Whoever it is, inquiries have already been made about playing the home leg at the National Stadium. But for the moment, the scene moves to Geneva on Friday, when Barry Town go into the draw, along with 25 of the biggest names in European football. And away from competition, Barry have already attracted one of those big names. Manchester United will be at Jenner Park on October the 17th to play a Matthew Holton memorial match
of the UEFA Cup, and that's exactly what they achieved last night. Let's join Bob now down in their field of dreams.
Yes, Sarah, down here at Jenner Park, a little under 24 hours after that famous win over Budapest for shooters last night, they're still pinching themselves about the fact that they're in the first round proper of the UEFA Cup, setting up a lucrative tie against one of the big clubs of Europe, for a town that, before today maybe, wasn't really known for its football. Just another day by the seaside for the holidaymakers of Barry. Castles in the sand on the beach. Well, thanks to the town's football team, European soccer success is no longer a castle in the air.
My God, they done well, didn't they? Yes, they done very well.
Oh, I'd like to see AC Milan come down here myself, but maybe not.
No, they're in the European Cup.
Okay, I'll give up.
Didn't even know Barry had got a football team. I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. But not for much longer, sir, because this is the mouth-watering prospect awaiting Barry Town.
Newcastle, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Newcastle, Aston Villa, Arsenal. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
The reward for their stunning penalty shootout victory over the Hungarians of Budapest for Shooters could be a game against one of the super clubs of Europe. That and a financial bonanza.
With the right draw, it's possible for the club to receive between £300,000 and £500,000.
Which for a club of Barry's side is tremendous, isn't it?
It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
So instead of visiting a League of Wales forwards, it could be Jurgen Klinsmann and Bayern Munich heading Barry's way, or a certain £15 million Alan Shearer of Newcastle, whose weekly paycheck would have Barry's players thinking they'd won the lottery.
Why wouldn't I playing against that Newcastle?
Mr. Shearer, eh? 50 million quid's worth.
Yeah, I know, but I'll have to see, wait and see.
But where would they play? Homely Jenner Park with its 2,500 seats, or somewhere bigger?
Obviously, if it was Newcastle, we wouldn't be able to. But any other team, we would try to do it at Jenner Park.
Jurgen Klinsmann on Jenner Park wouldn't be bad, would it?
No, it'd be brilliant. Absolutely.
That somewhere bigger could be Cardiff Arms Park, but for now, on the seafront, the scarves are being readied, and the only question to be answered is to which distant shore will the players of Barry be heading after the draw in Geneva on Friday lunchtime. Well, joining me now is the man who masterminded Barry's win, their player-coach Gary Barnett. Well, Gary, could you imagine the impact that this result will have on the town?
Well, the phones haven't stopped ringing all day. It's been very busy in the office with people popping in, congratulating us, and everywhere we've been today, players and the staff have been congratulated by people.
Nice to be in the limelight?
It is, it's very nice. We're coming down to earth. It might take another day or so.
You know, in the past, Welsh clubs have always been thought of as cannon fodder in European football, but this gives light to that, doesn't it?
Sure, I mean, Welsh football's improving all the time, and obviously it's been great for the League of Wales. The clubs this season have done the league proud.
So who would you like in the next round? I suppose there are two ways of looking at it. If you get a smaller team, you've got more chance of going through, but then if you get a big club, well, you make a lot of money.
A big club, I think. Obviously Newcastle's been mentioned. They're tremendous away support, over 20,000 or something like that. That would be tremendous.
You fancy them?
Definitely.
Well, Gary, thanks very much indeed. So, Barry Town have done Wales proud. The question is, can lightning strike twice? As little Llansan Fried head off to Poland, aiming to make progress in the European Cup Winners' Cup. Pre-dawn in Llansan Fried. And if the early bird catches the worm, the Poles of Ruchotzow had better watch out, because these players getting up before some have gone to bed are heading off to Katowice, buoyed by the success of League of Wales colleagues Barry, and aiming for more of the same.
Barry did superbly well to get a fantastic result against the Hungarian team last night, and hopefully we can emulate what they did.
They already know they can hold the Polish Cup winners. They did that at home. But can they come away from Katowice with a win?
Well, as confident as we can be. Obviously, we know we've got a big task ahead of us. But clearly the boost really today is the Barry result last night.
How much of a boost was that?
Well, it's a terrific boost. Obviously, they've done the country proud by getting through the first round proper, and it's now in our hands to follow them.
For Llansan Fried, it's a gruelling 12-hour trip, a bit of training, then not surprisingly early to bed.
They play Aberdeen tomorrow in the UEFA Cup. And as the League of Wales side prepared for the 600 miles journey, they were given a confidence booster. Their captain will play tomorrow after collapsing in Liverpool last week.
We thought it was the sugar levels at first, it was low for about 24 hours, but we don't really know, to be honest, there's no definite reason behind it.
But that must have been quite a scare for you with this big game coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah, I didn't honestly, up until yesterday, I didn't realise whether I'd be playing or not. They had to have the reports back from the doctors up in Liverpool to see whether I'd be okay to play. But everything's come back okay, the scans come back okay, and everything's fine.
And the Barry men aren't rattled by the bookies' prediction. They've made Aberdeen 8-1 favourites for tomorrow's game, but Barry have beaten a team from Latvia, and they've beaten a top Hungarian side.
I think the lads realise now that they can compete at this level. Before it was, you know, hopefully we could. It's proved now in the past 2 European ties that we can. So obviously it's a step up again, but we think we've got a chance.
For the club as a whole, I mean, it's made Barry Town the #1 club in Wales. But for Welsh football, it's really put us on the map. They've beaten a Latvian side, a Hungarian runners-up. They're up for it.
You can see the team spirit's great. We're all here excited, you know, the cameras are here, you know, big occasion.
And you can see the game, Aberdeen against Barry Town, only here on... And as Barry's players got to know the Pittodrie ground, they knew Aberdeen are going to throw everything at them in an early onslaught. And the two sides come from opposite ends of the pedigree scale. Aberdeen, with a long tradition, have scored 15 goals in their 3 games since an embarrassing home defeat in the first leg of their tie against Zalgiris Vilnius from Lithuania. But Barry go into the game having defeated a Latvian side and the strong Hungarian outfit Budapest Vashutas. They're not overawed.
They're very confident, obviously very relaxed. Once he gets to the ground, we start seeing the crowd there and the warm-up, and I'm sure like the tension will set in, and hopefully they'll be all ready for it.
They went to the stadium last night to go through a pretty easy training session, I imagine. They seem to have enjoyed that.
Yeah, I couldn't get them off the pitch, to be honest. They loved it, and really had to have a go at them to come off the pitch, you know, take a rest. But they did enjoy it, so it was a lovely playing surface. And as I say, hopefully a few of them can be inspired tonight and give some great performances.
And everybody fit and well?
Everybody's very fit, yeah, so you know, we've got a full squad to choose from.
And I know that managers in particular will never set targets, but ideally what are you looking for this evening?
Well, obviously we're very confident and we think we can keep the game alive for Jenner Park and make it another great European night down in Wales. I just get the feeling the press think that Aberdeen are going to roll us over heavily, but we'll see about that.
And you can share the action with the highlight.
Barry may not spring to mind as a place with a great sporting history, but the town's football team have already etched their entry in the annals by becoming the first club from the League of Wales to make the first round proper of a European competition. The town's bookmakers have them 14-1 against winning tonight, but they're confident of progressing even further.
The players have done absolutely brilliant so far. They've worked very, very hard. The concentration has been magnificent in the European games. Obviously the Continentals had a lot of the ball, and it's been a lot of hard work. But as I said, you know, we were the underdogs in the other two rounds as well, and you know, we'll be going up there and giving Aberdeen a very hard game.
So far, the South Walians have seen off Dinaburg of Latvia and Budapest Vashutas of Hungary. But even the old man of the side, who's had previous European adventures with big city neighbours Cardiff, thinks they can get past Aberdeen.
It's a bit of a change, like, because we've gone further than Cardiff so far, so it's a bit of a plus, like, so we'll have to wait and see how far we can go.
But the pride of Pittodrie won't be easy to overcome. 13 years after beating Real Madrid to win the Cup Winners' Cup, the side still claims its place as the third best north of the border.
They're a good outfit, they're a competent outfit, they're a full-time professional club. We'll be looking to take, hopefully, a good lead down for the second leg.
Ahead or not after the first leg, the boys from Barry won't be disheartened. After all, they came back from a 3-1 deficit in the last round, and Jenner Park awaits the sequel in a fortnight's time.
Cricket now, and there was joy and
European Soccer Special.